Here we go. We're going to give this a try. Keep hitting the wrong button. So this is 452, 454 Ohio. It's a duplex. It's in kind of a nice area. The whole street on this side is single-family homes, with the exception of the duplex. And then it's got cemetery across the street, so nice. And then it's got interstate, which means you can jump on north or south to get pretty much anywhere you might want to go. The other neat thing is that it's a residential neighborhood, so during the day it's fairly busy, but at night it's very quiet. This particular property was a foreclosure, bought a couple years ago. Gentleman bought it. It doesn't look stupendous right now, but he is picking away at it. He's got a lot of stuff around it, but he's been painting it. The front looked terrible, and he's done this nice paint job on the front with the starburst. So it is coming quite well, actually. He's done a bunch of foundation work. The driveway here is shared. This side is ours, that side is his. There is room for 2 vehicles without any issue. In fact, a lot of tenants have had 3. The other kind of neat surprise for a in-town property is that it has a big backyard. The backyard goes all the way to the fence. So if you wanted to have a self-contained fire pit or something back here, you can. We do the lawn mowing here. Tenants are responsible for doing their own snow. Most tenants have just shoveled. We had a tenant a while ago, quite a while ago now, I guess, but they had a snowblower. And of course, you could have somebody plow too. The last folks here only had somebody plow when it was a big storm, which was only a couple of times this past year, and they shoveled the rest of the time. So this is an older building, 120, 130 years old. Had a renovation back in like the 70s. And then we took this over 7 or 8 years ago, and we have done a couple of things. They've been fairly minor, but nice. We added a dishwasher. All the appliances here are fairly new. The dishwasher is the newest, 2 years old. The stove we just brought in to replace a really old one that was here that worked, but didn't look very good. So we bought that from another property that's being upgraded to a really expensive one downtown. And that's maybe 4 or 5 years old, and the fridge is about the same. They had some problems with the fridge shortly after they moved in, and they were here like 6 years. So we replaced it for them. Probably the best feature of this compared to most old places in Bangor is that at some point it had a second bathroom added. And this was, I think, mostly added for the laundry, and it had a half bath. And the owner did a renovation, I want to say 5 years ago, but it must have been 6 because it was right before the last tenant moved in. And he added a shower and kind of went around it. He actually did it with his grandson. And it looks pretty good. If you look really close, they didn't do some of the cuts perfectly. So like both sides of it. This is like a folding table and linen storage. And then like around the light switch, they should have cut that better. But anyways, I mean, it's minor. It is very functional. It's a 3/4 bath, so you get a shower down here. And the other bathroom is upstairs. That has a tub, toilet, and sink. So it's really nice to have the shower. They used to have a older style shower rigged up upstairs, but it was really weird. And the above the shower, it has a sloping ceiling, so it wasn't the best setup. So having the shower downstairs really is an improvement. The finishes are, again, older. This, I think, is original floor. It's been painted with floor paint. Most of the tenants, well, I think every tenant we've had, have put down an area rug and used it as a dining room. A couple of tenants ago, they had a desk in here, so it could be multifunctional. And then the unit has its own thermostat, and you control your own heat. It has its own furnace. In fact, that was one of the neat upgrades that the current owner did. He replaced all the furnaces, updated the electrical. You've got a pretty good-sized living room here. Windows are older, not old like original. I think probably were renovated in the 70s. It does have carpet, which has not been cleaned yet. Actually, doesn't look too bad here, but will get cleaned. It's probably 10 years old down here. I think the stuff upstairs is more like 12 or 15. And we're going to keep it for this go around, and there just isn't time. It's COVID has had some weird things. Like, you wouldn't think it would mess with supply chains, but on appliances have been hard to get, and flooring, and people are backed up because it's taking longer to get to. Give you another angle of the dining or bonus room because it has that neat pass through into the kitchen. And you will notice that windows are older, so it's got those like expandable screens that we give people. to put in the windows. Most people put an air conditioning unit, one on each floor here. We do not supply, we actually don't have any properties with central air conditioning. Most people use a window unit for 3 months a year, June, July, August typically. Our lease, so that's fine. You do have to remove it come October because we're paying for the heat here. The heat is included, and that's one of the things that you typically want to see is heat included, because that can be a big expense. Again, front entryway, which just doesn't tend to get used with the parking on the side. People might open it to get their mail or something, but stairway up has got, again, 2 pretty good sized rooms and then a small one up here. This, again, you'll sort of see actually as a paint that was not there prior to the painter. We'll try to get that up and we'll leave a little spot. And then you'll see here, like it's got, that needs, and we're going to put down, a transition strip. There we go. And same thing here. We've got some needs to be cut and there'll be a transition board there. And it won't look too bad. Again, cleaning will help a little bit. There aren't like stains or anything. It's just a matter of the tenant that was here, the long-term tenant. They were a nonprofit, took care of a couple of adults with special needs. Great tenants, but like they had incense. They burned a couple spots in the rugs. They're minor, but I don't love the look of them. However, I think I fully mentioned that. So this has typically been the master because it's big enough to do a king-size bed without a problem. It does have a little like storage nook. I can't really say it's a closet because it's got a door that's kind of hard to open. Again, they're painting it, they'll put it back on. But it's good for like maybe Christmas, storage. It does have this kind of cool brick fireplace, not functional obviously, but was, originally certainly. And then it's got the closet. The third room, which again has been used by most of our tenants that we've had here as a bedroom. So I guess it is a bedroom. It does have a little closet. It's, I guess, not too bad size considering. It would be fine for a twin bed. But as you can tell by the connections on the wall, we've also had a couple of tenants that used it for an office. So it could be pretty good for that. Again, carpet's not bad in here. But it's just, I think it's probably due for a replacement. And so we wouldn't make a tenant moving in responsible for anything with it. And this is the back room, which again is actually decent sized. Probably could do a king size bed in here too. But most people have queens, so it's decent size. The only thing is this one doesn't have a closet. So come over here. So that is 452 Ohio. Oh, I am going to do the basement for you too. The basement has just got like a pea stone floor. Sorry, this is the second bath. I'm jumping ahead. Second bath, which has that kind of built-in sink. Has a toilet behind here. And then tub. Again, they did have a shower thing hooked up here prior to the one being done downstairs. But it's great for a tub. And you could add a hand. The folks that were here had one and they took it with them. You hooked the hand thing to give you a thing to do if you wanted to use it. But most people with that addition downstairs just shower downstairs and work really well because you still have a bathroom on this level without having to go downstairs. So, again, carpet's not to my satisfaction. However, it's not that they're dirty. It's just that they've had a little bit of damage. And so those will be noted. And everybody gets a unit inspection form with us. So you could note anything that you might find existing when you get here. And you can return it so you're not responsible. Heat, water, sewer, and lawn care are included here. Electric bills really do depend kind of on the tenant, how much laundry, etc. There is a light switch, well, for the dining, but there's also a light switch for the basement area here on the side. It's both units have stairs that come down. This was just a completely dirt floor prior to the owner buying it. And he did the spray foam on the walls, which really helped as far as heating. He also did a brand new wall on the front that was needed. And then he did high efficiency propane furnaces. And you notice over there, there we go. It's got circuit breaker panels for both units. Those were updated as well. And you can kind of tell here, we tell people it's okay to store stuff down here if you want. It should be in plastic totes, so I don't really recommend the cardboard boxes. And the reason being that typically these, in the summertime when we're starting to get into now, when you have the real hot temperatures, it gets kind of humid. So you'll find mildew on boxes if you leave them just sitting on the floor oftentimes. You won't see that issue with totes. So that's why we recommend totes. And you can see there's sort of not much else down here, but it is good for that. Gives you a little bit of storage as long as you make sure you do that. So this has not had a final clean either. The painter is almost done, but it will have a final clean. And the guys who come through, our painter does not actually put all the faceplates and stuff back. We do it, and the reason is we want to make sure that they're not broken or anything. So our guys will do that. Trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's kind of it. If you would be interested, let us know. It's available and could be moved into. This time around, it'll be available the end of next week. But we'd also be okay with July 1st on this one. So that's it. 452 Ohio.